Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to Dual Diagnosis. This is an Ontario Learn course, which is sponsored by Georgian College. So my name is Brenda Quinlan, and I will be your instructor for this course. You can find information about my background if you look in the instructor tab on your left. And what I wanted to do first is just to walk you through what this page will look like. So when you open your page, you should see the most recent announcement at the top. And you can keep track of those announcements so that you're always on top of what's due. And if there's any tips or pointers for upcoming assignments, always look there first. I will also send you announcements via email, so please also check your emails. So when we go down the left side menu, we see course information. And course information is very important because it has the schedule of when everything is due. So your syllabus is there, your course schedule, information about doing an online course generally is also there in the Getting Started section. So if we look at this particular document, which is the Dual Diagnosis Schedule Fall 2019, you will see that the first page just talks generally to you about what the course is, what is a dual diagnosis, what we're going to be learning through the course, and what materials are going to be required for you to have during the course. You will need to purchase your textbook. It will be used all the time. You do need to have the correct version of your textbook because older textbooks are different. And your schedule here begins on page 2. So you'll see what day of the week the schedule starts. So week 1 is September 10th to the 16th. What chapter of the textbook we'll be reading, what the topic is for the week, and then what your activity is. So the first week, we want you to just post a short intro in the welcome forum, a little bit about yourself, maybe what your goal is, if you plan to work with children, with adults in a particular setting, whether it's mental health, whether it's residential accommodations, community programs. So just a little bit about yourself in here. And you can also say where you're from because we can have people from all over Ontario in this course. Then I want you to post in the Google Scholar Forum, which you will find in that same section. So that section is the forum section here on the left side menu. Open that, scroll down, and you will see the Google Scholar section. So let's just go to that for a minute to look at how it's going to look for you when you're in the forum. So what we see here is that there's a place for questions for students or instructors to respond. This is where you're going to post your introduction and your welcome. And then below that, there's a section on how to use Google Scholar. And this is going to be really important because we want credible, reliable information and we want to know how to access it. We're living in a day and age where information becomes stale dated very quickly. We get information from all over the globe. Facts change all the time. And we want to be able to discern what is really reliable. So what we're going to be looking for is journals that are peer-reviewed. That means other experts have reviewed the article. They all agree that it's very reliable and accurate. And you want to be able to use the APA format that's required for your assignments and also when you're making posts because you always want to give credit to the source. And that is very, very important. Whether you've summarized the information, whether you have paraphrased it, whether you may have even a quote from it, it's the same. You always credit the information. And the formatting for that is within the text, you would have a bracket, you would have the author's last name, a comma, and then the date, followed by a bracket. There could be more than one author's name, and you would include them all. Now, there's very particular rules for APA. You will find a resource on APA in your resource section, but also the link to Purdue OWL, which is a great online resource. And I strongly recommend that you check how you're supposed to format your paper, how to do APA citations within the text of your paper, and how to do references at the end of your paper, whether they're electronic, they could be from a website, they could be from Google Scholar, and you're going to learn an easy way to do that when you do the Google Scholar exercise. So that's what you're going to be doing in week 1. And then as we go forward, you're going to also look in your lessons. And each week there's a lesson plan that you can open. It will give you the description of what the lesson is, what the objectives are for that particular lesson, any guided activities, and a summary. Now, when I do these courses and they're constantly being revised, there are times where I may have missed a date or correcting an old date. There's a lot of material in the course and it is possible. Please let me know if I've done that. And when in doubt, always follow the course schedule and syllabus because it will be correct. So in each of these sections, you can open up the article that's being referenced. You can go to the wiki, which is a direct link here within your lesson if there's a wiki, or if it's a forum discussion, you can go into the forum. You will see the wikis in the menu here. You'll also see activities, and that's going to include your assignment instructions, which you want to open and follow very, very carefully, particularly the rubric, because that is exactly what the marks will be based on. And so you'll find all that information here, as well as you'll find links for how to submit the assignments, biography and reference guidelines. Articles, you'll find resources that I think will be particularly useful for you for both the course and then going forward in your careers. And you'll also find links. So these links will be to various electronic resources. And I've tried to keep them up to date as much as possible. If you do discover that a link has become dead, please let me know and I will correct that. Then you'll also find the section which will have your grades, and that's where you'll find your grades posted. So for each forum, assignment, or test, I will always try to have them marked within a week. And the only exceptions will be if there has been a few people who may be delayed for some reason or other, and I may not post the marks until I have all of them. So I hope that that gives you a basic rundown of how the course is set up. It's good to explore yourself, look at the lessons, look at the forum, look at the wikis. There is a post in the wiki section on how to create a wiki and also a great example of a wiki so that you have a sense of what's done. And wikis are basically building on each other's information. Every single version of the wiki can be seen, so I can tell what you did. If somebody revised your work, I can still see your work. And the idea is that we're comfortable with editing each other's work. We're also comfortable that we can add to each other's work and we can discuss each other's work, because that's how we build knowledge. We build knowledge as we learn together. If you have any questions, you can always email. Please use the email brendadquinlan@gmail.com. That's an email that I will check always.